Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I am on a different camera today because the sun is setting. As I got off work, tried to film this video, it just didn't work out with the sun setting, so I'm on my old camera, so just bear with me. But today's recipe is really fantastic. It is our Thanksgiving loaf, and I'm actually eating this twice this week because it's so good and so simple to make. I wanted to make it for you guys because it's so easy to turn into different recipes, as well as just be an awesome lentil bean loaf for Thanksgiving, and it takes no time to make, super simple, you're gonna love it. So we're gonna jump into the ingredients. You need 1.5 cups of green lentils. You can also use brown or black, but stay away from red lentils, they kind of fall apart. So green lentils. And I'll have all of the measurements down in the description box below so that you guys can go back and just copy and paste and print it. I have 1 can of chickpeas that I've drained and rinsed. You also can use any bean for this. It doesn't have to be chickpeas. You could do pinto, black beans, works with all. So 1 can of beans. It's around a 15-ounce can. I have 8 ounces of baby bell mushrooms that I've already chopped. That's in this mixture. I cut up 1/2 cup of a red onion, 3 celery stalks, and 1/2 cup of carrots. And I sauteed them with a little bit of vegetable stock. I would say around a tablespoon to 3 tablespoons of vegetable stock. You just want to cook them on a skillet until the carrots kind of become soft, your onions are translucent, and your mushrooms obviously will be cooked. So I just went ahead and did that ahead of time. It's super simple and easy, but again, you just throw it all in a skillet. I just use vegetable broth so I don't have to use oil. You could also use water to saute. So that's done. I have 2 green onions that I've chopped. I have them right here. I have 1 cup of rolled oats. And then I have our seasonings, and that's it. In here, I have a tablespoon of nutritional yeast, 1 teaspoon of miso. I use white miso. 1 teaspoon of dry thyme, 1 teaspoon of rosemary, and 1/2 teaspoon of dry sage. Those are all dried herbs. Super simple and quick. So what I like to do is after I saute my vegetables, I let them kind of get a little bit not as steaming hot. And I like to transfer them to a bowl. And if you have a really giant, big food processor, you might not need to do this step. You can probably just add it all to your food processor. This makes 1 very large Thanksgiving loaf or 2 smaller loaves. I like to do the 2 smaller loaves. And what I do for Thanksgiving is after they've cooled, the goal for this and to make it look really pretty is to let your loaf cool completely before you flip it. And that way it holds its shape. But you can decorate it so beautifully on a platter. And I like to do little loaves with some dried rosemary or some pomegranate seeds and make it like a really beautiful replacement for your turkey. It's really, really beautifully done. So I like to do the 2 smaller ones. I also like to do the 2 smaller ones when we are changing this recipe. At the very end, I'll tell you how you can make it into other things, which is really convenient because one time we might have it as a loaf and the other time we might change it up. So you can pack your loaf pan to the brim and it works to make 1 large one, or you can make 2 smaller ones. I have a silicone loaf pan. I got this off Amazon. I'll have it linked below. Super easy and simple, no oil or parchment paper required. And so what I'm doing now is I'm just going to add everything to a bowl, but my oats. I want to keep my oats, we're just going to fold those in at the end, so we don't want it to be like oat flour and be pulsed. So I'm just going to put my oats aside. I'm going to put my lentils. And I feel like this is a really awesome way to get lentils into your diet if you're somebody who doesn't always go for that. I feel like I eat beans like all the time, but every once in a while I'll be like, oh, I haven't had a lentil in weeks. So I just like, this is an easy way of getting it in. And I should really call this my stuffing loaf because these seasonings make this taste like stuffing almost. My husband kind of, when he's eating it, says, oh, it tastes like stuffing. So just another great Thanksgiving meal. You can also change out the seasonings to do what you like. This is what we like. So I went ahead and added the miso and the seasonings, and add the green onion and my chickpeas. Again, any bean will work. And then what I like to do in a big bowl is just kind of mix it all together. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put half of the mixture into my food processor. The other half I'm going to put on the side for the second loaf. And you can pulse this as much as you want. I like mine to be still pieces of the food involved, not to be super mushy. So when I pulse it, I'm just going to pulse it a few times. The beans and lentils will be your kind of deciding factor. The lentils will get mushy really fast because they're cooked. They're already starting to get like a little mushy just from me stirring. But I kind of look at the beans as my go-to point. So I'll hit it a couple times, break up a couple beans, but I still want to be able to see that maybe like half of a bean is there. So just a little side note. You don't want it to be completely mush, but you want it to be well combined. All right, so that looks pretty good. So I'm just gonna take my food processor and I'm gonna put half in here, blend it. I'll show you guys a picture of it up close and into my loaf pan. Again, this is gonna make 2 small to medium loaves, so it makes quite a lot. I'm making this again today and I'm making it again for Thanksgiving because it takes 0 time and is so delicious, and I get asked about it all the time. So I'm gonna go food process it. I'll show you what it looks like in the loaf pan. We're ready to bake. This is like super easy. You're gonna preheat your oven to 400 degrees, and I'll see you guys when we get back and we'll pop it in, but literally takes not that much time. So, you know, we're all about easy recipes here. So I love this one, and we make it pretty much when fall hits, we're making it every other week because it's such a keeper. It also freezes really well, just a heads up. All right, I'm gonna go and stop talking and blend. All right, so I have it blended. It doesn't completely look like mush. You can still see that there are vegetables in it and a few chunks of that chickpea, and that's the way that we like it. You can do it how you like it, but I think it holds well this way. Don't completely pulse it to death. All right, so now I'm just gonna put it into my loaf pan. And we're gonna bake this for half an hour. Super quick and easy and simple. And I'm just gonna fold in, and I eyeball, you know, you can measure out half a cup so it's actually directly half, but I usually just will eyeball the mixture of the oats. So you can go ahead and add that. Looks good. And then I just kind of mix it in and form my loaf. I do use a spoon or a spatula to kind of just nicely, evenly press it down. I find that helps with the shape. But again, you're just gonna bake this for a half an hour at 400 degrees. So easy and simple. So I'll show you guys a picture of it up close before I stick it in the oven, and then I'll show you guys a picture of it after, just so you guys can kind of see what you're looking for. But everything is already cooked, so don't you love a Thanksgiving where you're not going to get food poisoning? You know, everything's done. You don't have to worry about like the cook time if you end up needing to pull it early or if you let it go a little bit longer, which, you know, when you're doing Thanksgiving and you're hosting, it gets a little crazy. So who doesn't love an easy main dish? And you could make this double. You might cook it a little bit longer if you're making the one large loaf, but I love these little ones. It's ready to go. So super easy and quick and delicious. I'm so excited. So I will take a picture of it pop it on the screen here. We're going to put it in the oven. Again, it's half an hour, and we'll be ready to eat. 30 minutes later, you have a beautiful Thanksgiving loaf, and it is gorgeous. It gets this beautiful brown color. You see if I can lift it up. It just came out. It's very hot. And it's just one of our favorite meals. It's so easy to make and simple, and it makes a lot. So this will be dinner tonight. We'll probably definitely have leftovers because there's only 2 of us. I'm also making some mashed potatoes and some steamed vegetables to go along with this. And the second loaf I'm going to make in the pan, but what I'm going to do tomorrow is we're going to make a whole wheat pasta, and then I'm going to let the loaf cool completely and crumble it up in the pasta. It's also delicious with the red sauce. The trick to getting this out of the pan to hold together is just be patient. Let it cool completely before you flip. You can cut it. It's really, really well. It holds together well from all of those lentils and the vegetables we cook. Added a lot of moisture, so it definitely will hold together. And you can do this for your Thanksgiving platter. Make several of them. You can decorate it with some vegetables around it, or pomegranates or cranberries. So many different ways that your family's going to love it. And it is so easy, which we're all about. So before I let you guys go, I just want to make a couple announcements. First thing is that you still have a few days. You have until Thanksgiving at noon to enter our How Not to Diet giveaway for the book. I'll have the Google form in the description box below if you're still interested in entering. I'm giving away 3 copies of the book. That ends, again, on Thanksgiving at noon. The next thing is that our December 19th cookie class is 60% full. So if you want to get into making some whole food plant-based cookies with me, we're doing 4 recipes, all refined sugar-free, whole foods, and they're delicious. They're so yummy. So I've had some pictures of and shown you guys a little bit, and you guys are going to love it. So if you want to do a virtual cooking class with me, again, it's on December 19th. Send me an email. I'll have all that information down below. And the last thing is that we are so close to getting to 19,000 subscribers. And when you guys help me, I put my husband up to like a little bet. If you guys help me get to 19,000 subscribers, he will do a video with me. So hopefully we can get up. I think I have 1,000. We're 1,000 away. Hopefully we can get there. You know, make sure you share the channel, make sure you subscribe, and we'll get him more involved in cooking and showing you what he does to live a whole food plant-based life. But thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys all have a wonderful holiday. And if you make the lentil loaf, or Thanksgiving loaf as we call it, make sure that you leave me a comment and let us know and take photos and tag us, and we'd love to see it. But I'll see you guys very soon in the next one. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.